Hi and welcome. My name is Bonita and I channel a group named Saborra. And at our recent session of the Lightworkers Group here in Kingston, Ontario, Saborra came through with a really useful tool that we can all employ to understand how our energy interacts with the energy of others. And I wanted to share that tool with you today. So at the event that we held, many times we discuss our experiences in terms of how we're relating to other people and also how we are experiencing ourselves as light beings. And essentially that is the evolutionary process we're going through right now, is understanding that we are light, that this is our divine form, and it appears as physical, it appears as solid, but we really need to start understanding ourselves as energy and how we interact with others. So I wanted to share with you today the tool that was given to us, and it's something that you can use for yourself, especially if there's any confusion about any relationships in your life and you want to understand how energetically you're relating to each other. So the way Saborra explained it was to see yourself as an energy field, egg-shaped was the image we were given, and seeing that as golden light particles. Okay, so seeing yourself as that shape, which actually is the way you appear when you're not funneling it through human consciousness. We were also asked, once we recognized ourselves in that shape, to then just scan from top to bottom of that field and look for where energy was coming into the field and where it was leaving. So as I'm channeling, I get to experience whatever Saborra is talking about. So in this case, my experience was that of realizing that there was this shaft of energy coming down through my crown chakra, and it was a really powerful energy. It is a powerful energy. It is also an energy that it's the universal energy, it's source energy, and it comes through the crown chakra and it supports my being here, it supports my physicality, it also supports me emotionally and mentally and spiritually. So what I noticed with that energy coming through, when I tuned in on it, it really took away any sense of separateness or loneliness. So often when we feel lonely, it's because we're not realizing our connection to source. So when you allow yourself to experience that shaft of light moving into you, it really does help you to recognize that source. That's your connection to everything, to all that is. And in allowing yourself to have that experience and knowing you can tune in on at any time, it helps us to move away from relationships that are harmful, that we're staying in just because we don't want to feel alone. So in going through that visualization and recognizing that energy was always there, always sustaining me, I recognized I could tune in on it at any time that I felt separate, alone, or even just depleted in some way. The other thing that I noticed as I scanned down through my field were areas where I was actually able to see these little strands of light particles drifting out. And Carolyn Mize talks about this in her books, that when we worry about somebody or we focus on them, we're actually leaking energy out to them. It's not a huge deal if you're only doing it occasionally, but if there's somebody in your life you're obsessing about, worried for them, worried about what they might do to you, you're leaking energy out to them. And it's not healthy and it's not appropriate for you. So something to keep in mind, okay? And also as I scanned down, I recognized there was this golden cord of energy from the base of this field that I am, anchoring me to the earth. And I was given to understand, we all were through Saborra, that that strand is our anchor to the earth. It's what keeps us in physical form, and it disconnects when we no longer need to be in physical form, when we leave this earth and we leave the body that we inhabit. In other words, when we're no longer anchored to the earth and to that earth energy that comes through that cord to sustain us, we no longer need to hold physical form. So the body is no longer required. One of the things I really loved that we were asked to do was to imagine standing in front of us the person in the relationship that is easiest for us in our lives, the one where we get along, there's no arguments, we always feel good around this person. So I imagined one of my best friends in front of me, and we were told, now observe and feel. And this is important because some people are visual and some are tactile. You may not get the visualization that I'm expressing here, but you may be able to feel it. So go with whatever your method is for discerning things at this level. So I had this friend in front of me, and I saw this really beautiful interplay of heart chakra energy back and forth, very even. The flow was very much coming from both of us to the same degree. And what I noticed was a beautiful wave action where it would go up to the crown and all the way down through the body, that she and I nurture each other through all of our chakras when we connect, which is why whenever we interact, it's very loving, it's very comfortable. All the chakras are being attended to. There's nothing powering into a particular chakra or pulling on anyone in particular. So that was a beautiful observation for me to have, and it felt very pleasant and light and beautiful to experience our connection that way. And then we were asked to pick the person with whom we have the most difficult relationship. And that can be very interesting too, because when I visualized that person, what I saw was a great deal of heart chakra energy being pulled from me, and only a very small amount of energy being fed into another chakra, as though it was just enough to keep me tethered so that I would continue to expel this heart chakra energy. And people will often say, oh, people pull on my energy and I don't like it. We need to take responsibility for that as light beings. We need to recognize we're allowing that to occur. And this technique is really useful for helping you recognize the way you're interacting energetically with someone, and then take responsibility for it. Which means if you are noticing that they're pulling tremendously on one of your chakras, you can choose to step away from that person. You can choose to, depending on their awareness, have a discussion with them about it. You can choose to hold your energy still and stable and not give them that energy. Once you're aware that you're doing it, now you have the power to do something about it. So one of the ways that you can do that, it's a technique I've been taught, is to recognize that universal energy flowing into you, coming in through your crown chakra, coming up through that tether, and replenish yourself. If you do any kind of healing or energy work with people, never, never, never give them your energy. Your energy is for your body, your awareness. It's not for anybody else. However, as light beings, we can be a conduit to allow universal energy to come through us and out to that person. So if you are doing something with someone where you're doing some kind of energy work, understand yourself as a conduit. Use the visualization to make sure that is what you're doing, that the energy is coming and cascading through and out of you, your own energy not being taken with it, so that you know you're doing the work correctly. Okay? And just to give you an example, I am almost 50 years old. I've been doing psychic work and energy work for 30 years, and most people mistake me for being a younger person because using universal energy, it's like the fountain of youth. It helps to reduce the aging process because you're constantly being fed by an energy that is here to sustain you. And you will notice some people in the psychic world age very quickly and they don't look healthy. And this is because they are allowing their own energy to go out to help people. That's depleting them. Always make sure that you're working with universal energy. You want to give somebody a hug? Fine. Bring universal energy in and through you and give them a hug and let them have that energy. But if somebody's pulling on your energy, it's your responsibility to do something about that. I hope this has been useful to you, and I'd love to hear your comments on YouTube. Thank you, and namaste. And if you would like to know more about me, you can reach me at tarotkingston.com, www.tarotkingston.com. Thank you, and have a great day.